96.7 KCAL rocks. It is Hangover Monday, we like to call it. On a cold Monday morning, we got to check in with our guy, Pep. Pep, are you okay?
Short story, yes, I'm okay, man, but I'll be honest. Still pretty angry about how Super Bowl 58 unfolded as a big 49ers fan. And Patrick, I'm going to try to give the Chiefs as much credit as possible. But as a 49er fan, I'm biased, and I keep replaying the moments and the plays during that Super Bowl when the 49ers had the opportunity to gain control of the game or put it away, or, you know what I mean, at least put them in a position to get that victory at the end. And I just replay a lot of those moments, and I'm just thinking how the Chiefs, and I've said this throughout the course of this NFL season, we talk a lot of football here on KCAL, that the Chiefs are the luckiest team in the NFL, and I still firmly believe that. So I'm trying to give the Chiefs credit. They are the first back-to-back champs in 20 years, third Super Bowl, all those things. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, the 49ers should have won that game. They should have won Super Bowl 58.
Is there any part of you when he missed that extra point? Is that one of the reasons that's bothering you the most? Because I remember at the time, I looked at both of my kids and I was like, ooh, I'm getting that Seattle feeling like that could be important.
Yes, there was two moments. The missed extra point, which I cannot believe it was blocked. I kept in hindsight thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to come back and haunt us. And ultimately it did. I mean, it should have been 20-19. 49ers win in regulation. Then in overtime, when we marched down and kicked the field goal, I kind of thought maybe we should have went for it on that fourth down, not kick the field goal, maybe went for the touchdown, because I thought if Kansas City gets the football back, I had no faith in our defense. I'll be honest, I didn't. Like our secondary, I thought our defensive line was great. They harassed Patrick Mahomes. They did a pretty good job of trying to contain him or bringing him down when he tried to scramble. But our defensive secondary was a liability, I would say, through the back half of the regular season and certainly into the playoffs. So when Kansas City got the football back in this new overtime rule, I was like, this is not good. I just got a bad feeling about this.
I could feel the same way for you, especially because there was that feeling of like, uh-oh, they're letting Patrick Mahomes hang around.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's the last guy you want to let hang around. And I mean, right when Jim Nantz said it, it was like they're repeat champions if they can go 75 yards. And I just thought, ugh, Patrick Mahomes, I don't like this. It's like having Dale Earnhardt in your rearview mirror on the last lap of the Daytona 500, bumping your back bumper. Very scary moment.
Yeah, in regulation too, like to let them drive down and tie the kick, the field goal to tie it up and send it to overtime. Like, again, all those moments, all those plays, I keep thinking as a 49er fan, I'm like, man, we should have won that game. Like, what are we doing letting them off the hook? The defense needed to step up in those moments, and they didn't. So, again, I'm trying to give the Chiefs credit. I feel like at the end of the day, they're still the luckiest team. But, I mean, sometimes it's better to be lucky than great. And they're back-to-back champs. It's their third Super Bowl. The dynasty continues. And, if they can keep the gang together, and I know some people are saying Travis Kelce lost a step. He sure didn't look like it. In the second half, he came alive and hurt the 49ers. So, I don't know. Kansas City's the Super Bowl champs, and they'll probably be the favorite going into next year.
And, I mean, a lot of people were criticizing the 49ers because of the new overtime rules. Why would you, take the ball when you're still going to get another opportunity? I know why. Because their defense was just on the field, and they're gassed. I actually thought it was a good move because in Shanahan's mind, he's giving that defense a rest, and he wants them to give, anything to try to give him any advantage. I know it doesn't look good now, but I actually understood that move.
Yeah, no, I get it too. I totally get it. And I'll say this, that I just got an alert on my phone earlier this morning that many of the 49ers players were not aware of the overtime rule. And I kind of wasn't either. I thought, if they get the football and score a touchdown, it's game over. But in the overtime rule for the Super Bowl, each team gets at least one possession. So if the players knew that, I don't know. Get the football first and you score a touchdown and win it, yes, I get it. But with this new overtime rule, maybe you want to go second. Give the Chiefs the football, see what they're going to do, and then you know exactly what's on your plate to either tie or win the Super Bowl. So I can see it both ways, but I'm a little concerned that the 49ers didn't even know the overtime rule.
And actually, yeah, we've seen this before where the players do not understand exactly what's going on. However, I know that a lot of people criticize Tony Romo for "oh Jim" and all that stuff. Nevertheless, I actually thought Tony Romo explained exactly what the new overtime rule. So at home, I actually felt like he was doing a good job of telling everyone exactly how this works. Like if the time period went out while they still have the ball, you go into the second
Yeah.
quarter. It's not over yet. I thought he actually explained that because you got to remember during the Super Bowl, and trust me, I had a few people over that were driving me nuts. It's one of the reasons I want to watch the game by myself. They don't understand what the hell's going on, and you got to hear him do all the dumb questions. Tony Romo was taking care of that, I have to say.
Everyone's an expert, right?
Yes.
I'm with you, Patrick. It's hard to watch the Super Bowl with other people. I'm just, sitting there. My palms are sweating. I'm gnashing my teeth, and it's just very hard. But yeah, that overtime rule. I get why the 49ers wanted the football first, but I understand why it would be good to go second because of specifically this rule. If it was the regular season, yeah, get that football, score a touchdown on the opening drive. Game over, but in the Super Bowl, I don't know, man. Maybe you do want that football second just so you know exactly what is going to be required of you for that victory. But again, I feel like it shouldn't have even gone to overtime. They should have not missed that extra point. They shouldn't allow the Chiefs to drive down at the end of the game and kick a field goal to send it to over. There's so many different things that could have happened. On the punt, where the ball hit the back of the 49er player's foot and the Chiefs recovered. And that was their only touchdown until the end of the game. Again, all these plays, I'm trying really hard to give the Chiefs credit, but I keep replaying these moments where the 49ers should have won. As a Seahawks fan, I'm sure you can understand because, the Patriots intercepting the football at the goal line, to prevent the Seahawks from winning the Super Bowl. I mean, that's got to be at the top of the list in terms of Super Bowl moments of when they should have won it and didn't win it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, I feel your pain and anguish. The agony of defeat is so terrible being a Seattle fan. Also, one quick little sidebar before we move on. I thought a really ugly moment is when Travis Kelce was screaming in Andy Reid's face and bumped him so hard he almost knocked him over. I feel like he's getting a totally free pass. I thought that was really ugly. I did not like that at all. And I like Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I've never seen him act like that, especially to Andy Reid. It's not like Andy Reid is just some first-year head coach that doesn't know what he's doing, dude. He's one of the all-time greats, if not the greatest. He's up there. And, yeah, as a 49er fan, I was thinking, oh, my gosh, they're imploding. This is exactly what we want. They're imploding on the sideline. They're frustrated. They can't do what they want to do. The 49ers are imposing their will on them. But obviously, Andy Reid's a great coach. They go in at halftime. They make enough adjustments to come back. But yeah, that was a bad look for Travis Kelce on top of having to see Taylor Swift after every other play cutting away to her. Listen, as a 49er fan, we lost. As a football fan, we all lost because now we're going to have to hear about Taylor Swift and the Chiefs for another 12 months. Thanks a lot, 49ers. You could have stopped that.
Buckle up, because here we go.
Buckle up. All right, and finally, one other football note, Patrick, this one at the college ranks. UCLA saying goodbye to Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly going to Ohio State to be the offensive coordinator for the Buckeyes, which is, I guess in a strange way, that is a better job right now than being the head coach of the Bruins. Remember, UCLA is moving to the Big Ten, and life is just going to get tougher for UCLA. Chip Kelly's probably going to make the same amount of money, and now he's going to be coaching at Ohio State. I guess that's a better gig, and now UCLA's got to find their new guy.
I was a little bummed here, I'll tell you, for a couple of reasons. One is I heard he was interviewing to be the offensive coordinator of the Seahawks. I was hoping that was going to happen because as a coordinator, I feel like he is offensive genius, and that college game is moving into the NFL like nobody's business. Second of all, it makes me think Chip Kelly knows that UCLA is going to get their heads kicked in by the Big Ten. So he said, if you can't beat him, join them.
Yeah, I think so too. I thought Chip Kelly, would go to Seattle or go back to the NFL in some capacity. And then, UCLA, I heard that's like their worst recruiting class in a long time, going to the Big Ten. It's like, ooh, man, this is not going to be fun next year. I'm going to go make the same amount of money. I'm going to go to Ohio State, who's always in contention for a national title, and get out of Westwood. So now UCLA's got to pick their next guy. So I don't know, Pete Carroll, Urban Myers, those some names I've been hearing out there, but who knows?
How hard are they going to boo him when Ohio
Oh,
State comes into UCLA and kicks their heads in?
and that's a game now. That's a conference game. It'll happen at some point.
Oh my goodness. It is Hangover Monday. Lick those wounds,
Ugh.
Pep. It's the worst when somebody says there's always next year. The last thing you want to hear. Trust me, as a Seattle fan, I know. I hope all goes well. The future does look somewhat bright for the 49ers. And I know you don't want to hear this either, but Vegas picked the 49ers most likely to win next year's Super Bowl. I know. Take it down, brother. You deserve it. It was a hell of a season for the 49ers, my man. Tell them how to get your stuff.
Get my stuff, guys. Inland Sports, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, the YouTube channel if you want to check it out. That's Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep. There it is, my man.